For nearly 2 centuries, one idea has defined the United States' presence in Latin America: the Monroe Doctrine. What began as a defensive warning against European powers became a blueprint for American dominance in the Western Hemisphere. Now, in 2026, its echoes are louder than ever. In 1823, US President James Monroe announced a bold principle. The Americas were no longer open to European colonization, and any interference would be seen as a threat. It was meant to protect newly independent Latin American nations. But history would twist that promise. By 1904, President Theodore Roosevelt expanded the idea. The Roosevelt Corollary declared that the United States had the right to intervene in Latin America to keep order and prevent European meddling. Under this logic, the US called itself an international police power. Venezuela was one of the first to feel its reach when Washington forced arbitration between Venezuela and Britain during the 1895 crisis. Throughout the 1900s, US influence grew, often through intervention. In Central America and the Caribbean, US troops landed in Nicaragua, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. During the Cold War, Washington backed coups and regimes that opposed communism, from Guatemala in 1954 to the Bay of Pigs in Cuba. Critics say the Monroe Doctrine became a cover for strategic and economic control, not protection. By the late 20th century, Venezuela had become one of the world's top oil producers. In 2002, a coup briefly ousted President Hugo Chavez with alleged US involvement. In the 2010s and 2020s, sanctions hit Venezuela's economy hard. And in 2019, Washington recognized opposition leader Juan Guaido as Venezuela's rightful president, deepening tensions. Then came January 2026. US Special Forces captured President Nicolas Maduro in Caracas, flying him to the US to face charges. The move stunned the world. Supporters called it justice, critics called it a violation of sovereignty, a return to the interventionist past. Some dubbed it the Monroe Doctrine, a modern remake of Monroe's 19th century vision. 200 years after the Monroe Doctrine, the pattern endures. Power, ideology, and national interest continue to collide across the Americas. What began as protection from empire may have become an empire of its own. And the question remains, is this the defense of democracy or the persistence of dominance?